Hello and welcome to the TCF Morning Show. We are back with the TCF Morning Show. It is Monday, August 21st. We're going to hopefully make this a weekly thing. We'll see if it keeps going, but we're on week one. So, and I am joined tonight by Boomy at Boomy TCF and Maddie at schools_01. We haven't had Maddie back in a while. It's great to have him back. I am Zach Lilia at ZLilia TCF on Twitter. Main page is at typical_Chicago. Go to Facebook, Instagram. Check us out on there. Also, go over to the YouTube page. Type in typical Chicago fans. You will find us on there. Subscribe to the YouTube page. We got the podcast, and we'll have the morning shows now. We have food reviews coming out. Like you said, me and Boomy are working hard on this next one. Our bodies are kind of hurt after doing this.
We're fighting a losing battle when it comes to this.
After you see it, it'll be well worth it. And then also go over to TikTok. Make sure you check out all the stuff that P-Goy puts up on the TikTok. I don't know, that makes me sound old.
Yeah.
And then wherever you get your
baseball this weekend too.
Yeah. And then wherever you get your podcast from, check us out on there. Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts. I think there's Google Podcasts, right, Boomy?
Yep. So
check us out wherever you get your podcast from. Like I said, it is Monday, August 21st. Shout out to our sponsors at Connect Roasters. We love their coffee. Connect Roasters is it's amazing. They're on Twitter at Connect Roasters. They got some big news coming out here, I think, soon with maybe like a cold brew. I'm very excited about that. Anyways, check out your favorite baseball player, Ian Happ, a Connect Roaster. He loves Connect Roasters. I love Connect Roasters. We all love Connect Roasters. Go check them out wherever you get social media and check out their website for all the great coffee that they have. Boys, we are back with a TCF morning show. I don't know if I did that whole intro correctly because it's been a very long time. But boys, we'll start with this. Maddie, how have you been? It's been a while.
Good. I happy to be back. It's been a busy summer. A lot of T-ball games, a little bit of traveling, and just a lot of life. A lot of that going on right now. How about you guys?
You're living in the moment. You've been where? San Diego, Wisconsin,
Nashville.
Yeah, since May, it's been
all over the world.
San Diego, Nashville, Wisconsin, Chicago last weekend. Took the kid up to see. He was very excited to see the city last week, so that was cool. Museum of Science and Industry, by the way, little shameless plug. That place is outstanding. So
yeah, that place.
If you ever get your way up there, that is one hell of a museum. So very cool place. So even in our own backyard there.
Yeah, I think my sister has taken my nephews there, and it's pretty awesome and amazing.
Yeah, very cool.
There's a lot of very cool museums in Chicago.
Yeah, it's like a children's museum on steroids. It's fucking sweet.
That's a good way to put it.
I would say we're very lucky to have a place like that, like 2 hours away.
Yeah.
And then Milwaukee's got some good places to go. I mean, we're very lucky where we live.
St. Louis. My wife loves St. Louis for the children's museums and shit like that. I think St. Louis is a pit, so we have an issue when she wants to go. But outside,
when you stay inside, you don't smell the urine.
Yeah, that place sucks.
Yeah, it's not a great place, but also it's got nice places to take the family.
It's got nice nothing.
Well, have you ever been to that? I went there like on my senior trip, which is kind of goofy, but it's like the world's biggest, it's like a playground. No, that's an arch.
Yeah, I think that's at the kids museum that you were talking about.
Yeah, it was very dangerous, honestly.
Yeah, it's my bag.
The arch,
very good time
arch is the worst.
The museums there with all
the arch is the worst. I hate heights.
Yeah.
He like moves around when you're up there.
It's very cramped quarters on the way up too.
You're going down an elevator that is pretty much just like a tube.
Yeah,
no, thank you.
Weird little capsule you're sitting in. It's weird.
I don't like heights anyways, but going all the way up there. Oh, look down. Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, not really engineered for guys our size.
Or anybody in general.
Yeah. Definitely
But,
not big boy friendly.
Boomy, you got some mowing done today. It's supposed to be very hot this week, boys.
Yeah, that's
very
exactly
hot.
why I could have probably pushed it off a couple days, but wanted to get it done. Even today, it was pretty brutal out there, and you got to get it done. What can you do? I didn't want to be out there like Wednesday night when it's 1,000,000 degrees. So,
oh my goodness,
got it done.
Yeah, I went golfing today and only did the front 9 because I was not going to stay out there. First of all, I sucked, and second of all, it's miserable.
Yeah, you tried.
It's going to be that way the rest of the week.
Back 9, and I was just like, dude, I've been outside enough today. I'm not going back.
Actually, thank goodness you didn't come out, because I would have actually kept golfing. It would have been miserable.
Yeah, no thanks.
But let's get into it. Like, we're also going to make the TCF Morning Show kind of a recap of, as of right now, White Sox, Cubs, and then we got the Bears playing some preseason. But once the NFL season comes around, we'll have this for pretty much just a weekend recap of the NFL, Thursday night football, stuff like that. But for now, it's mostly just going to be Cubs, White Sox, and the Bears. But we'll get more into the NFL once the preseason is over with. But let's get right into it with the Cubs. They take 2 of 3 from the Royals, which is great. They needed to win the series. They are 3 games back in the division. They are 64-59, which is just unreal to think about from what they were a few months ago. I think they're in the 3rd spot for the wild card, and then forget who the Philly was in first, but I think Philly lost tonight.
The Giants are a half.
They're a half game behind the Giants, right?
Yeah, and then they're a game up on the Diamondbacks.
So technically, they are in the playoffs right now. But
they're a game up on the Reds too, and that
the
Reds, Diamondbacks, and somebody else are tied like a game back.
Marlins,
thank you.
Yep.
But it's going to be fun to watch here the next few weeks. But they do DFA Barnhart, which is not like a huge surprise. He's batting around 200. They have 3 catchers on the roster, which they really don't need as of right now. But they brought up Mastrobuoni, which I guess whatever. I don't know why you would
He's
do
a
that.
utility man. He can play a lot of spots and he can fill.
Yeah, I know he can. But do I want him to? But guys, the main story here is, how great is Cody Bellinger at baseball?
I was just gonna say, I mean, he's right now he's at 326, and if it's not for Arias having, I mean, Luis Arias is batting 357, he'd be
a guy who's having like a all-time year.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane, 357, and if it wasn't for him, he would only be 7 percentage points behind the leader. And just a complete like resurgency has been, and especially you got to think of it this way too. He missed like a month for different injuries and stuff. So seeing him bounce back, I think he's at like 21 home runs maybe. So like it's just been incredible to see with a guy you kind of took a little quote unquote risk on in that signing, and look how it's played out. He's been batting clean up and hitting the leather off the ball lately. Yeah,
it's awesome to see. You love the energy that is at Wrigley Field right now. It just seems like, I don't know, it's ramped up over the last few weeks here because of the position that the Cubs have put themselves in. But Maddie, what do you think of the whole Cody Bellinger? It was an experiment at first. You were going, well, you give him a 1-year deal, what could happen? And his MVP year could be back.
Yeah, I really like the move when they made it in the offseason, and I think it's like you almost have to pay up. You can't keep this cycle of letting good talent walk, and he's still young enough that he can be a long-time contributor to this team. Seems like he likes playing in Chicago. He's been hitting the piss out of the ball for the better part of the season, and I don't know what more you want. You're going to get a guy who's versatile. He can play. He can play first. He can play in the outfield. He's really good defensively in center. You're probably not going to even need him there at center when PCA comes up, because it seems like this guy's going to be Gold Glove caliber center fielder when he gets here. So, when you have a guy like that playing in the corners with Bellinger, probably in right or either first, having that versatility with the stick, it's a monster. So, I think you just need to find a way to just start keeping some talent there. And you can start seeing a core with him and Dansby Swanson and, on a PCA and Ian Happ. And, so you can really start seeing like a little bit of the framework of a really solid team for an extended period of time. So, and that's
Justin
the goal.
Steele.
So, yeah, Justin Steele. I mean, you basically have a front end of the rotation guy that you've been seeking for the last 5 years. So, I don't think you can be upset about the way it's going as long as this front office just doesn't fuck it up.
They get the Tigers and the Pirates this week, so another really good opportunity. And then you steamroll that into a series with the Brewers, who are in first place. I mean, it's one of those weeks where if you can win, I think they play the next 7 days. So if you can win 4 or 5 of those, go right at. I mean, you're right there in the thick of it.
If you just noticed, my like that little bright light behind me or in front of me, it went down. Just went down.
I was wondering what it was.
Yeah, that was kind of scary. But you know what? We'll fight through it because I'm a warrior. On the other end of it, we got Marcus Stroman, who has like a rib contusion or whatever, something going on. Really and truthfully, is it worth bringing him back here in the last few weeks of the season if he's not all the way healthy? That's something that has really gone from, hey, what are you going to be able to get for him at the trade deadline to what's going to happen this offseason when he's supposed to be a free agent?
Yeah, like I think I said that on Thursday or Friday's show is like, if imagine being in his spot where you have an upcoming free agency and then you don't pitch the last 6 weeks of the season, like for a guy who was, almost begging for an extension and has been terrible since the All-Star game. I don't know, man. That's a tough look. Maybe it makes him cheaper for the Cubs if that's who they want to, if they want to go back to the well. But like I said on the last show, this has become a pretty common occurrence for Marcus Stroman and everywhere he's been in his MLB career. So we'll see.
Yeah, unfortunately, it usually has trended that way after All-Star break. But, I mean, at this point, you just got to move along with the pitchers that you have. Assad's going to be pitching hopefully in that 5th day. You got Justin Steele. Kyle Hendricks is pitching well. You got Smiley. Who I think, Smiley's in the bullpen, right?
Smiley is scheduled to start on Tuesday.
Okay.
So, and Tyone Wednesday.
It's really if we got to get these pitchers to give us 6-7 innings.
Yeah, the bullpen's been getting taxed.
Yeah, and then they are even on a bigger streak of games. I don't think they have a day off for a while.
Yeah.
Who do they play this upcoming week?
Tigers, Pirates this week.
So that's both series you should at least win.
Yeah.
And then the Brewers go to Texas and win 2 out of 3. That was nuts.
And I also saw that starting today on Monday, the Giants and the Phillies, the 2 teams ahead of the Cubs, are playing each other this week. So obviously, some room to pick up some wins would be
just win,
nice.
Baby.
Yep, just win.
That's all that matters. Right. You win and good things happen. Then that's all that matters.
Who do the Brewers got this week? They must be off tomorrow. The Brewers have the Twins. So,
Well, let's get into the White Sox. We know we won't be spending too much time on them right now but we haven't let Maddie really had the floor yet since the White Sox have. I mean, I don't know if it's the trade deadline. When last time you were able to come on here and talk about the White Sox. But first, I'll go in 49-75, 15.5 games below or out of first place in maybe the worst division in baseball. They lost 2 of 3 in Colorado, which is an amazing ballpark. There are rumors that there could be some major changes in the front office. Wow. Well, I don't understand why that would ever happen.
The problem is if it's not fucking Kenny Williams and it's not, if it's not,
what are we doing here?
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Jerry Reinsdorf is still going to own the team. It's not going to make a difference.
That's right.
Eloy came back from a paternity list, but he was hurt before that, so he's supposed to be back Monday. So I don't know if he'll be playing or not. And then Luis Robert, one of the wilder things, he has 33 home runs on the season on a team that is just not good at baseball. Okay, we got all that out of the way. Maddie, you have the floor.
Basically, it's two things. It's Tim Anderson getting his ass knocked out by Jose Ramirez, and then the Christopher Morel walk-off homer. Like, it's just like those two plays, snippets of time, whatever you want to call it. It is the perfect, just short story, Instagram reel, TikTok video of a wrap-up of a season that you could possibly have. Just play those two clips, and that's your White Sox of 2023, because it's just I'm so much talent just pissed away. And it's just, you look at Lance Lynn, he was traded away, and now Lance Lynn's like a fucking Cy Young again with the Dodgers. It's just, of course he is. It makes me very upset and sad, as you can tell. So, I mean, that's I feel bad for those wonderful White Sox fans that we get to hear from so loudly when the Cubs aren't great.
Well, they had some fun in the Cubs White Sox series. They had a little fun in the first game.
Hey, they had a good fucking playoff series, dude. They had one good playoff series against the A's. They almost won it.
Was that the COVID year?
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, the White Sox, I just don't know what's going to happen. And like you said, hopefully they redo the whole front office, everybody.
It's stripping everything back. I mean, their minor league system's not good. Their major league team's bad. Their ownership is terrible. The general manager is kind of stuck in a rock. I don't necessarily think that Hahn is a bad general manager, but stuck in between a rock and a hard place with Kenny Williams and Reinsdorf running the operation. So
I mean, Rick Hahn's a puppet at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they all are.
I mean, he's doing whatever it's Kenny Williams' show.
Yeah,
Rick Hahn's just the face of it.
Insane.
Rick Hahn's just the face of it, so he's the one that has to take the heat for it.
When has he ever made a move that was like, whoa?
Maybe like 2005.
Even that was like a crazy, like just spur of the moment team, really.
Yeah.
They got good quick, and then they won a World Series, and then did nothing after that.
Pretty much.
Hard to argue.
But enough with the White Sox. We will move on to a team that will hopefully make all of Chicago happy here soon. The Chicago Bears. They do lose to the Indianapolis Colts, 24-17. Most of the starters did not play. Justin Fields did not play. Most of the starters did not play. I'm not sure if they will in the last preseason game against the Buffalo Bills, but I don't know. I don't really know why none of them started at all in the second game, but I guess it is what it is if we go out there and they all look good against the Packers first game. But the biggest story of this game against the Colts is undrafted rookie Tyson Bagent. I don't know how you say his name. From D2 Shepherd University in West Virginia, 9 of 10 for 76 yards and a rushing touchdown. And he's looking like he could be the backup quarterback for the Chicago Bears, which would just be wild. They had PJ Walker, who they signed. They had Nathan Peterman, who played most of the second half. But it's kind of looking like this guy could be the backup quarterback.
Yeah, he's big. He's like 6'3", 215, 220, somewhere in that range. Like he's got the measurables that you want to see. At D2, you worry about the competition level, but I mean, it's not like PJ Walker's like instilling a whole ton of confidence as your backup quarterback. And we know what you're going to get with Nathan Peterman. It's not pretty. So if this kid's got if they just struck gold and now they've got 2 elite level quarterbacks in the house, like after never having one in the entire franchise history, like, I mean, we got Justin Fields, who's obviously like a front runner for the MVP, as it's pretty much understood. And this Tyler Badgett, who it's basically the invincible story. So what more do you want?
It is crazy the amount of bets that have been put in on Justin Fields to win the MVP, but it happens all the time with just random things get bet on. They know more than we do. Let's just say that. But yeah, the Bears didn't play any of their starters really. I don't really know what will happen against the Bills on Saturday, and then we finally have real football. What?
It's all in staying healthy, man. Just keep.
I say let Tyson play the whole game. Let's see what he's got.
Let's just keep people healthy. That's all that matters right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I guess we can go out there and they can play as a team, but I don't think they need much more than what they've already got. I think they're ready to go.
That signing of Yannick Ngakoue, I think, was so huge just to get them a legitimate pass rushers. Other teams do have to game plan around and somewhat, make a focal point when they're prepping a little bit. And I think the defense is going to be much better than people are expecting. Kyler Gordon's looked incredible in his stretch of preseason so far. So I'm really, really cannot wait for the Bears season to get started.
Yeah, I'm ready for some football. Boomy?
Rashawn Johnson. How about Rashawn Johnson yesterday, too, by the way? He looked awesome.
Love it. Boomy?
Ready to go, baby.
Yeah, what are you looking at over there? You're staring at your phone as we're talking about the Bears.
He's trying to see.
Tyler Beignet, whatever his name is.
Yeah, now you got two quarterbacks that are better than the fresh quarterback.
Keep telling yourself that.
But let's move on.
This kid's gonna get released in a week and a half.
No way.
Yeah,
he's not.
They got too much money tied up in PJ Walker. They're not gonna.
They have like $30 million in
money. It's like $4 million or something, isn't it?
Money ain't a thing right now for the Bears, buddy.
It's not like it's gonna matter.
Money ain't a thing to anybody in the NFL.
We need the regular season. We're talking about the difference between the second and third string quarterbacks right now.
What's what happens when your starter doesn't play? Because we already know who our starter is. We don't have to worry about our starter. We already know what's going on.
We don't have a quarterback competition like the Packers do.
Yeah, that's what the Packers have going on. Yeah.
Can't wait. But like I said at the beginning of the show, shout out to our sponsor, Connect Roasters. Go to connectroasters.com for all of your coffee needs. They also have tea too. I know Boomy has gotten that before.
Tea in here.
Oh, there you go. And look at it's delicious. He loves it. So make sure you go over there and get some of that. Follow them on all social medias. The coffee is amazing. Like I said, Ian Happ drinks it. I drink it. The Cubs locker room has been drinking it, and look what has been happening. They are on a roll, and they are hopefully going to make the playoffs. But like I said, go over to connectroasters.com. Check them out on all social medias. Again, shout out to Connect Roasters, the best coffee in the game right now. But let's go to our segments. We're going to have two segments here. We're going to start off with the media recommendations. We do that sometimes on the podcast. I think we just did on the most recent podcast. But everyone's always watching or listening to something new or whatever. And mine, it's not really new, but I just watched it the other night. It was Tom Segura. It's called Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
It is hilarious. He is so funny. And he also, it's on a stage, like one of those ones that's like a circle stage, which I think every comedian should do if they are like the big timers.
Yeah. In the round is the term.
What is it?
In the round.
But you know what I mean, though? Like, everyone, he can kind of like see pretty much everyone, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that special, I think I watched the day it came out, is phenomenal, and I think
hilarious.
One of the best ones out there right now. So, Maddie, have you watched that one yet?
I have not. Nope.
It is well worth a watch.
I know Boomy, I think, already brought this one up, but it was the Johnny Manziel. That was also on there. Netflix has some really good documentaries and like just shows.
I think the Florida Gators one is coming soon too.
Yes.
I think of all the like, it's not even really a streaming service, but like all the ones that have like shows, I think Netflix will always be like the GOAT.
Until they price themselves out
here lately.
I know, but I think they always come back with good documentaries. They always get the best documentaries and then not the best documentaries.
HBO's got
HBO, yeah, sorry, but I think they get the best stand up.
Yeah. I think the ones you were talking about, Untold documentary series, is what they're called on Netflix, and that's where like the Florida Gators and the Johnny Manziel one. So,
well, the Florida Gators one is coming out, right?
Yeah, it hasn't been released. I think it's this week or next week. I
think they're also doing a Florida 30 for 30 as well.
Oh, can't wait for that. My recommendations this week, I got 2 movies. They're both on Netflix. Funny we were talking about that. One is called The Devil All the Time. I know it's got Tom Holland and Robert Pattinson. Phenomenal movie, kind of a like early 1900s like timepiece. Great movie though. Really highly recommend that. It's not super long if I remember right. And then the other one we just watched with Russell Crowe is called The Pope's Exorcist. So I recommend both of those. The Pope's Exorcist, obviously, kind of self-explanatory there, but really anything Russell Crowe's in, I'll give it a watch. And we just watched it the other night, and I can't recommend that one enough. So 2 really good ones on Netflix if you're needing a little movie night there.
Mandy, what do you got?
Well, my first media recommendation is go back and watch this Sugar Sean O'Malley KO of Aljo Sterling from Saturday night, because O'Malley winning the belt from I think Sterling's defended 3 or 4 times now at the bantamweight.
It was plus
a pretty good run that he had.
I think.
Plus 220 for some of us.
That's pretty huge in like UFC.
Yeah. Especially for a title fight.
Yeah.
Anything more than 200 is starting to get pretty significant for a dog.
If you really like UFC,
O'Malley's
the way he just kind of floated and then waited back and then just
he was very patient, waited for a shot and fucking clipped him. And,
they said it was like when
right in his face, dude.
When McGregor got Aljo, it was kind of the same way. He kind of waited back and then leaned at him and then
that one was only like 12 seconds into the fight, though.
Well, yeah.
Hey, Maddie, do they post those fights on like YouTube or something after the pay-per-view?
Usually ESPN Plus, probably by Tuesday or Wednesday, I think.
Oh, okay.
And really and truthfully, if you just go to Twitter and type in Sugar Sean, you'll be able to see at least the knockout.
You'll be able to pick up. UFC actually posted the entire lead up to the knockout, and they usually don't until later on in the week from their social media accounts. But it looks like they're trying to maybe push this one a little bit harder, because
I follow
O'Malley's got a star factor.
I follow Sugar Sean on like YouTube, and I listen to his podcast all the time, and they had a reaction video out that next morning.
Yeah, he was actually like the first fighter, one of my buddies, my buddy who got me into UFC, shout out Chippy. I'm sure I think it was Eddie Wineland was the fight that it was one of the first fights that I ever saw in the UFC. It was Sean O'Malley. He just fucking one punch KO'd Wineland, and that was a pretty brutal KO, and that's kind of what sold me on O'Malley then. Obviously lost to Cheeto shortly after that, but then it started building it up. The big win against Peter Yan, and then Saturday night it was a monster win for O'Malley. So it was a pretty cool fight and pretty cool ending.
He wants to fight Cheeto in December, and that card would be insane.
I'm hoping that gets pushed off into early next year, because I really want to see Tapuri and Volk. And I've got a Tapuri featherweight champion at the end of the year plus 700. So if that would I wouldn't mind that one coming home for me.
Me and Boomy have always said we'd love to go to a big time UFC event.
It was down in Nashville when I was there actually too, and it didn't work out for me to get there.
Yeah, that'd be tough to
it was
like, hey wifey, I'm going to
go I had Maggie. Maggie was actually gonna go. Owen had a rough day, so it was just kind of a tough.
And so it goes so late. That fight didn't start until like 1 a.m. Eastern almost.
Yeah, it would have been a late night, but definitely want to get to a live event here sometime.
It'd be awesome. The energy in that arena was just insane when Sugar Sean knocked him out.
Yeah, and it was just a good way to end the night, good way to end the fight.
Yeah, it was a good card too.
Yeah, it was.
But I wish I could get every UFC card, but they're just so expensive.
It's not cheap at all.
It's like because like I said, the big fights is the one you actually have to pay for.
Yeah, it's a perfect thing to get a group of people in, and
Mhm.
everybody chip in a little bit and it works out.
But let's end the show here with something we haven't had in a very long time, and that's a Boomy's Wacky web story.
All right, boys, we're going to head to Boston, the site of last night's UFC fight, but this goes back to last year. A woman fractured her left ankle during a trip with her husband to the Italian food emporium Italy in Boston last year, and she is now suing Italy for her medical bills for $7,500, hospital visit, physical therapy. What happened at this world-famous Italy place? Well, she...
Why are you saying it like that?
That's because it's EATALY.
Oh. I thought, I'm like, what are you saying it like that for?
Well, she was heading over to an area where food samples were distributed to customers on October 7th. And, well, she didn't fall down the stairs. She didn't choke. No, she slipped and injured her ankle on a piece of prosciutto that fell on the floor, causing her to slip and fracture her left ankle, running up $7,500 worth of medical bills. So, yeah, be careful when you're at Costco or Sam's Club or anywhere that gives free samples. Make sure there's no prosciutto on. But I will not sit here and just let people bash prosciutto like that. All right?
It's dangerous food, apparently.
No, it's not. It's delicious food is what it is.
When used properly.
Yeah. Don't walk on it. Just eat it. So frivolous lawsuits per the usual, I think.
This had to be a huge piece of it because, I mean, to slip and hurt your ankle like that, I guess, all it takes is a little bit.
When I think of prosciutto, I think like a piece of like maybe that big, right? Like a piece of like deli ham. I mean, how big was this piece? And like, if it's that big, how
that's just supposed to be see-through.
That's true. That is true. The better, the thinner it is, usually the better.
Maybe that's why she couldn't see it if it's see-through.
Yeah. That's tough. I don't want to see this go down a dark path where people are bashing prosciutto. So maybe just don't walk on it.
No, just bash the woman.
Yeah. If you trip on a piece of ham, I mean,
I got nothing for you at this point.
Yeah, all those funny frivolous lawsuits like the
and then the pull of the lawsuits the worst. Like maybe watch where you're going.
Yeah, but also like maybe drink like a glass of milk if your bones are breaking from slipping on a piece of ham.
It's coming from the guy who hurt his ankle on a trampoline.
Okay, a lot more people get hurt on trampolines than ham, doofus.
I think that no duh, because there really hasn't been they haven't done a stat on how many people have slipped on ham.
Yeah, you're comparing apples and oranges here.
I'm just saying you're calling people's bones brittle.
Yeah, from something that breaks people's bones a lot in a trampoline. Ham doesn't.
Well, yeah, that's just because it's not like a thing, but it still means bones could be brittle both ways.
No. You are stretching here.
I am not.
Yes. Matt, will you weigh in, please? That's a bit of a stretch, is it not?
Yeah, I do have to side with Boomy on this one. I'm sorry. I damn near blew my knee out on a trampoline. So I just, trampolines are a menace.
That happened when I was 21 or 2 years old, and will be 33 next month. I have not been on a trampoline since then.
Yeah, it's your own fault for going. I don't go on trampolines, and that's what reason why. If you go on trampolines, you need to know the dangers.
Yeah, you dislocate your foot one time, you don't get back on them.
No, they're the worst thing ever. Like, there's nothing good can happen on a trampoline.
No.
Yeah, that's hard to argue with, and nothing good can happen when you step on a piece of prosciutto either. So.
I guess not. But thank you for joining us here on the TCF Morning Show. It is Monday, August 21st. Like I said, hopefully we'll be back doing more of these shows. They'll be mostly out every Monday morning, kind of recapping the weekend of sports, especially here when the NFL comes up. It's going to be a lot of fun for us. We'll be back with the TCF pick show also. So there'll be a lot of TCF content coming at you this coming fall. I always forget the seasons. We're almost to fall, right?
Yeah, almost. Except for it's
Almost
going to be
there.
97 in like 24
Oh my
hours.
God, that's gonna be awful. But thank you to Boomy at Boomy TCF on Twitter for joining me tonight, and Maddie at schools_01 on Twitter. I am Zach Lilia at ZLilia TCF on Twitter. The main page is at typical_Chicago. Go to Instagram and Facebook. Type in Typical Chicago Fans. You will find us on there. Go over to YouTube. Subscribe to the Typical Chicago Fans page. We got the podcast now, the morning show, and we also have food reviews coming out here soon. Follow us on TikTok, and then wherever you get your podcast from, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Play, Apple Podcasts. Type in Typical Chicago Fans, and we will be on there. Anything else, boys?
Let's have a week. Stay nice and cool this week, folks.
Yeah, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Yeah. It's going to be a hot one. This has been the TCF Morning Show, Monday, August 21st. We love you all.
Peace.